get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family's straight. Gotta make sure that my kids and me. Gotta make sure that.
Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. Tonight I'm just drinking on some fruit punch. Because the topic that we're going to talk about, man, I gotta make sure I'm sober for this particular episode. All right. If y'all know, I usually drink Crown mixed with Dr. Pepper or Dr. Pepper cream soda or root beer, or I might have, some vodka here and there. But for this particular episode, uh, need to have a clear mind to talk about this. Uh, and what are we talking about? We got to talk about the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. All right. Uh, Now he was arrested. Uh, it's not a surprise that he was arrested because we know there was an investigation going on with him. We all know. I think it was like a couple months back. Uh, Houses got raided and everything like that. So not a surprise. But he got arrested. Let me see. He got arrested at his hotel. He's been charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Um, he was denied bail. Uh, Let me see. According to NBC News, the charges are tied to freak-offs, coerced sex acts that Combs allegedly orchestrated and recorded, according to a federal indictment. Uh, Let me see. Combs has faced a wave of lawsuits, one as recent as last week, accusing him of sexual assault and misconduct in the past year. And of course, he denied any wrongdoing. Okay. Um, he's been in the news a lot, a lot. If y'all remember, um, was in let me see, not too long ago, um, him and Cassie, y'all remember that situation? Um, he was on video, assaulted Cassie, and from what everybody's been talking about, okay, pretty much seeing this coming. It was kind of like what Cat Williams said, 2024, everything would be exposed. But this has been talked about with Diddy for actually decades, right? It's been talked about when it comes to Diddy for a long time. People talked about Diddy, his parties and everything. You got people that would leave early or not even show up, stuff of that nature. Um, this is my opinion about uh Diddy and everything. Uh let's start from the professional side of things, okay? What Diddy has accomplished professionally, um, should be admired. You know what I mean? From working at Uptown to basically getting fired. Andre Harrell, RIP to him. Uh, a man who doesn't get mentioned a lot in terms of music moguls and things like that. Gave a lot of our favorite artists starts. Um, then Biggie went on to start Bad Boy. Obviously, Notorious B.I.G., his biggest artist ever on the label. Is Diddy a marketing genius? Yes, he's a marketing genius. You cannot deny it. From Bad Boy to Sean John to Was it Ciroc? Uh, I mean, whatever else. I mean, he's a marketing genius. I'm not gonna sit there and lie. Okay, what he has done in music and in reality TV, y'all, if y'all don't remember making the band, he put that together. You got uh the group making the band. You had Diddy Kane, Day 26, um, and stuff like that. But obviously, there's a different side to him and everything like that. Uh, he it seems like it was something off with him for the longest time. Um, I don't. It's like when he's in front of, we know how he's an entertainer in front of the camera. We get it. That's what he's in. That's who he is. He's a mark. Once he get in front of that camera, he's going to promote. He's going to promote. Whether it's an album coming out for one of his artists, whether it's his clothing line, whether it's the rock, whatever the case may be, he was going if he in front of that camera, he was going to promote. Now, let's get to some of the stuff that has transpired um outside of that, okay? Obviously there's conspiracy theories going on with uh Notorious B.I.G. You know, people are saying he has something to do with it. Because I guess Biggie was going to leave the label. Um, it's a lot out there. Nothing has been proven, but you never know what could come out of all of this. Okay. Uh, another thing too, if y'all remember, he had this. We know about the relationship he had with Cassie, right? But his biggest, uh, well, I guess his most profile relationship was with Jennifer Lopez. If some of y'all probably too young to know, but they dated back then. And then something happened. Excuse me. Something happened at a club, and a particular artist that was on Bad Boy named Shine took the fall for Diddy. He was innocent. People believe that he was innocent. Okay, and me personally, I believe he was innocent too. Shine was. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Shine's a talented artist, right? Um, he was. He went to prison for a very long time. Um, but if y'all see him now, you could tell like he is a whole. I mean, I think prison saved him from the downfall or the how you can say it, the curse of Bad Boy. Okay, if you want to put it that way, the curse of Bad Boy. Because he is like you see him, he looks amazing. Like what he's doing now, politically, socially, is truly amazing what he's doing. Mace was one of his bigger artists on the label. Mace has been speaking out against Diddy for a very long time. You have other groups too. You had what's her name from Diddy Kane? Let me see. I got her. Aubrey. Yeah, that's her name. I couldn't think of the name at first. Aubrey spoke out against him. Um, if y'all remember the group B5, uh, they spoke out against him. They were on Bad Boy. One of the you haven't heard too much from 112, who was on Bad Boy. You haven't heard too much from Nell. Um, one of the more successful um artists on Bad Boy. One of the best '90s R&B groups, '90s early 2000s R&B groups that was out there. But needless to say, Diddy has been arrested for everything. It seemed like what everybody was talking about came to light. Okay, it's like that. excuse me, like karma, right? It will always come back around. So when you think it's not come, it will come back to you. And when they arrested him, they found, oh my goodness, I can't believe they found like 1,000 bottles of like oil and lube and stuff like that. It's like, why? Why 1,000? Like, what you doing with 1,000 bottles of that stuff? Like, first off, how do you get 1,000? Like, I don't see it. I mean, if somebody has oil, it's like one bottle. If they have some lube, it's one bottle. But 1,000? Where do you even store it at? Where do you even store that stuff at? I have no idea. But everything that's what is old saying this was done in the dark will come into the light. And you have had a lot of people come out. No, it seems like it's the same story with everybody about these parties and this and that. And we see the jokes on social media. If y'all remember New Jack City, how Nino Brown was in trial on a in the court on the stand, and he basically started snitching on everybody. If y'all remember American Gangster, Frank Lucas, once he got caught up, he started snitching on everybody. And I think that's what a lot of people are going to start. They're assuming that he's going to start snitching on everybody to save himself, right? And I think it's crazy because when you look at over the last I don't know how many couple of years, right? Things have been going down for Diddy. It's been going down for Bad Boy, right? You're starting seeing the fall of an empire, and the head of that empire is Diddy, right? We could have conversations about did he get rid of Biggie, right? But we know what Mason's been talking about, right? We know what Aubrey what she's been talking about. We've known what the group B5 they said the same thing. They got pushed back. They kept getting pushed back because Diddy wanted to be the number one artist on his own label. True enough. I mean, it's his label. He can do what he want to do, but he wanted to be the number one artist. Um, you start seeing making a band. Um, their dealings with him, and which is ironic. If y'all, I just thought about this right now. If y'all go back watch that season of making the band when the band uh came together in that house and that was hiring that it was looking for a manager, right? Ironically, they picked the same manager that was who founded all these boy groups in the 90s, early 2000s. If y'all haven't seen that story, I suggest y'all go see it. It's crazy. It's a crazy story. But everything that he has done, right? If it from the talks of it, from the looks of it, it looks like he done cheated people out their money. He done deceived people. He done turned on people. Like Sean did an interview. I saw this earlier today. Sean did an interview basically saying I took the fall, then he got witnesses to testify against him. Sean was an innocent party in all of this. He was stabbed in the back by Diddy. Jennifer Lopez, as soon as that happened, she pretty much broke up. I guess it was too much for her. Jenny from the block. I guess if you're from the block, that shouldn't even bother you, that situation. But I guess she was more concerned about her image, her pop image than anything else. But you with Diddy, so we know how that is. We know how these celebrity relationships really are, right? And Sean basically he said all this stuff, but guess what? Guess who's on top? Guess who's not? Sean is on top. He's doing great work right now. Diddy, man, look where he's at. Look where he's at. And look, I'm not gonna sit there and be like everybody else to take away his accomplishments, right? Did it feel shady at times? Probably, right? But he built it. He built it, and um, he did things outside of the music industry. Again, clothing line, huge success. The deal with Ciroc, huge, and it just seems like you about to start seeing a lot of things come to light. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, one man can have a lot of information, especially if he's in the middle of it. You're gonna probably hear names from people you wouldn't even think about, or he might not talk at all. You never know what's gonna happen. But what I do know is there's gonna be so much more coming from this, so much more that some things probably won't surprise you, and other things probably will surprise you, right? Um, you never know. He could do a book from behind bars, if it ever gets to that point, and start spilling all these secrets. You just don't know. Okay. And I really do believe that this is karma coming back on him. This is what I believe. I think it's really karma coming back on him. And if he truly had, like I said, he allowed people to take the fall for him. He deceived some people out of their money. Whatever he had going on, especially at his part. I mean, that's like the focal point is his parties. It seems like what exactly? Well, people are waiting on names. I'm assuming waiting on names. I know there's some people that wasn't there that you won't have to worry about, but then there's some people like right, like what's really going on right now? Um, let's see what else is going on with this arrest. Um, so Sean Barrow, my bad. He I gotta put my glasses on for this. My transition glasses. That's why it seems dark in the light. Um, Sean basically was Diddy's protege. Um, now he's as again he's in politics. He he is the leader of the opposition in the Belize House of Representatives. Um, this is his quote: when I was an 18-year-old kid, just wanted to do nothing other than make my mother proud, make Belize proud, and be recognized for my talent and take over the world. I was defending him. Sean said, um, basically, this was a press conference on September 18th in his native country. Okay. And I'm gonna be real with you. At first, when I was a kid, I didn't even know he was from another country. Because when he first came out, first off, an amazing record, classic record in my opinion. I mean, he kind of sounded like Biggie a little bit, but man, it was a great record. Um, so basically, like I said, um, also too, quote, he pretty much sent me to prison. Uh, Sean was previously convicted. This was back in '99, New York, like I said, at a nightclub. First degree assault. Diddy and another guest. He served. 9 years in prison while Diddy was acquitted of all charges after testifying in court that he acted in self-defense, which is crazy. Um, well, I guess if the person with more money could get out, right? In 2009, after he was released, he was deported back to Belize, where he currently lives. Um, but you know what? Let's go on a little bit more. His quote: "This is not someone who I vacation with, and someone who I enjoyed this great intimate relationship or brotherhood." Uh, Noting that he only reconciled with the Grammy winner in recent years for better interests of beliefs because he was in a position at a time to give scholarships. He also talked about forgiveness too. Um, in that, but he also added, "I would not deny attempted to bring the investment to Belize and bring the contributions to education." I'm telling you, he's doing great work, man. You can see how all of this played out by the end. Like I said, sometimes it's a blessing in disguise, and him to for that to happen and to see where he's at right now, that was actually more of a blessing. And a lot of times we go through things, we like, man, we can't. Why am I going through this? And then in retrospect, you look at it like, man, hindsight 2020 is everything, ain't it? Uh, let me see. Uh, Let me see. But he basically said that he was going to he forgave him for everything, and I think that's a thing too. People don't talk about is forgiveness. Forgiveness is everything, not only for you forgiving that person, but it's helping you move on, right? And sometimes you need to do that just to move on so you could go and do bigger and better things, in which he's doing. You see what Mace is doing right now. Mace has a great podcast with Cameron. They have a great podcast. You see what he's doing, right? Um, who else is doing great things that was from Bad Boy? Uh Trying to think. Let's go back and see, because there's a lot of who all was on Bad Boy. Okay. I mean, they had I mean, listen, man, there was a lot. There was a lot of great artists that was on Bad Boy. Okay, Craig Mack, um, R.I.P. to Craig Mack, Biggie, R.I.P. to, like I said, Biggie. You have Black Rob, Faith Evans, The Locks. You see what they're doing right now. Boys in the Hood, that was like short lived, but you see who was in that group. Obviously Jeezy and stuff like that. A Ball MJG. Now for me, A Ball MJG, you know, from Memphis, one of the groups that I grew up listening to, me being from Tennessee. Uh, so for us, they already had like the the success, in the South and everything. But they were on Bad Boy, obviously 112, Kennedy Kane. Who else is out here doing big things from I mean, you got Carl Thomas, Cassie, again. Um, we could talk about her music career another day. Young Jock is doing some good stuff. Obviously, Day 26, they talked about their conversation with Diddy. I already talked about B5. Total was on there. You got French Montana, G Dep. Uh, who else is on there? Some people I don't even recognize. Christian Daniel. Okay. But that's and Mace obviously uh bad boy and everything like that. You're starting to see a fall of an empire. You know, unfortunately, empires do at some point come crumbling down, and you're starting to see everything. crumbling down to pieces, right? And we don't know what else is going to come out of this. You don't know. This just to me, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. You heard some of his former bodyguards come out speaking about this and all this stuff. I think what we're seeing is the end of an empire, end of an era. Um, I think some of these artists, unfortunately, there will always be have that connection with Bad Boy. It's kind of like if you work at a job and the job is kind of like wasn't a good job, it has a bad reputation, but you work there, and it's like you put that on your resume. It's like, man, unfortunately, I work there. Even though they have this reputation, and now people looking at you like, but even though you're a part of that, it seems like you're still connected to that. But again, this is just tip of the iceberg. We'll have to just wait and see. Um, more information that comes out of this. I know y'all can't wait. So y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about uh Diddy's arrest. Uh and I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like I don't think none of y'all surprised. None of y'all surprised about it and everything. So again, we just have to wait and see. Have to wait and see what else comes from this. And I'm gonna be paying attention to it. I'm gonna pay really close attention to uh the information that comes out of here because I think it's gonna it might not blow your minds because like I said, it's been talked about for years. It's been talked about for years. And now everything is coming to light. You just want to know more details. All right. All right, y'all, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in with me tonight. Uh remember, man, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Also, too, uh new episodes uploaded on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts every week. Tell your friends and family, about the platform, the podcast. Um, and I'm gonna bring some more guests back on. Bring some more guests back on. It's been we gotta get schedulings and stuff right. I work in retail, so anybody who works in retail know things gonna start kicking up. So we're gonna start planning for guests to come on and everything like that. But we're gonna have a great time, and like I said, man, we're gonna finish this stuff out, man. Got some new content that I'm working on too, so stay tuned for that. Until next time, I'm Darius from Drinking After Dark Podcast, and we out. Peace.
Gotta get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family's straight.